What's up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today decided to give Volkswagen some little attention. So the Volkswagen is about to hit 140k and it's due for an oil change, but also due for full-on inspections. And to me, I've noticed some little quirks going on lately, and I think it's perfect timing. Now, not gonna really bore you through the oil change, it's simple, but we're gonna knock that out real quick, and then we're gonna actually start inspecting under the car. Let's get it done. So now I'm under the car, and I know visual is quite limited, but I've checked pretty much the entire undercarriage of the car, and I've noticed something that was off. I'm about to show you. So I noticed, like, when I'm driving sometimes, especially if I even like take off or if I'm going from stop to reverse, I feel like a little shift. Like it's almost sounds like from a suspension, and I was curious what it was, so I decided to definitely look around in the suspension area. Both sides of the suspensions is pretty good. The linkage and stuff like that. When I jacked it up before without putting anything on it, I checked like the outer tie rod, lower ball joint, even the strut itself. And then when I was following it through, I noticed something was a bit off. So I noticed this right here. If you could tell, this outer layer here is dark, and then right inside and closer to the subframe is pretty clean. So I have a stock bolt that supposed to keep this together. But I'm thinking, based on the one of the things that might fail, I'm thinking this bolt needs to be replaced and realigned. Also, speaking of alignment, I noticed that as well when my steering not perfectly straight when I'm driving straight. So I know for a fact it had to do something related to my suspension. So when I noticed that, I said, "Yep, my subframe is shifting back and forth." The sucky part, I'm looking around for other areas where this might be an issue, but because there was so much dirt, like there's so much dirt here, it's not even a joke. Hopefully you can see what I'm seeing, but everything else, all the bolts are fine. I know for these issues you have to replace this and torque it. And then for the other outer bolts, like the one here and the other one across, that also holds the lower control arm, you have to retorque those. So these bolts are pretty new, because I remember I had to replace the sway bar. Yeah, I had to replace the sway bar relating to some situation way back, but I know for a fact this has got to be the issue. So this is something I can't do myself. I really had to take it to the pros. I gotta take it to a shop so they could look at it, and they could not only replace the bolts but realign the car as well. So guys, it's a couple of days later. I ordered a downpipe gasket. So I have an exhaust leak when I was checking under the car, and I noticed like the gasket I have in it looks pretty banged up. So when I get a new one, I'm about to replace it real quick. Let's get to it. So first thing I gotta do, downpipe is behind here, so the first thing I gotta do, I gotta remove pretty much half of the intake. Gotta remove the battery, and I think that's it for clearance on top, because they're gonna be like a bolt, maybe even two, I can only get from up here. And then once I do that, I'll jack the car up and remove the down and start moving, basically start working on removing the downpipe under the car. Alright, so finally remove everything on this side, so we have all the clearance that we need. We have to get, there's one bolt, or I think it's two, you have to get from this angle, and it's going to be probably like maybe one or two extensions with a little swivel. 13 I think is the 30 millimeters, I think is the socket. I'll verify when I try it out, but it's going to be from up here, and basically that's how you're going to get rid of loosen that one, where the other three most likely is going to be under the car. So finally got it off, and this is why I have an exhaust leak. So yeah, the layers are stripped up, and kind of know why I have all these have this problem driving around. Pops and bangs and stuff like that. I guess over time it builds up and it gets worse. But yeah, this gasket is done. Glad I took care of it, because the leak was getting really bad, like exhaust leak. You could even hear it when you go on full throttle. You could hear sounds coming from right under you and right behind you. So yeah, she's done, man. Let me go ahead and get the new one. This is a new one. Yep. Just hopefully this one will last a lot longer. And I try to compare it to see if it's is as accurate as possible. There we go. So it's pretty much a sharp fit. Might be a little bit of issue, but it should be it. So guys, I finally put everything back together under the car. This is why it's important to invest in a lift. I cannot wait to get like a lift or something, because trust me guys, it was a pain in the ass just being under there, and it was going to be even more difficult to record while I was doing it, especially the fact that I'm going solo right now. But I already put everything back together under it. I have the last bolt I need to put on top, so I gotta drop this car, and then after that we put everything back together, and then we're gonna test it out, and hopefully we don't smell anything. All right, let's go. All right guys, so finally put everything together. Everything is bolted, snug, tightened, torqued, whatever. Everything is together right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it with a cold start. With this in mind, you definitely could tell, or by the smell, or even by how it sounds, if it's still there, it's still a leak. All right, let's try it out. So let it idle for like a minute or so. Don't smell anything odd. I don't smell any exhaust fumes or anything, which is awesome. And then even better, before, when I used to rev it or even like go full throttle, you would hear like a raspy sound. You could hear from below, right under you, under the driver's seat, and behind you. But now, you don't hear it anymore. So you don't hear that extra rap sound. You don't hear it. So it's like a nice deep tone, consistent. So that's awesome, and I'm happy with this. Sounds good. Alright, bring it back to me. On that note, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and